Good morning, all. Morning. So, as we have discussed till andretium, the next one, gynecium. Right, the next one, gynecium. One more thing before proceeding further. See, in the discussion we had in the last class, we have seen that floral parts are modified leaves, right? So, what do you call the stamens technically? Is there any technical term for stamens that refers to modified leaves? Give me the term for the stamens that gives the meanings of their modified leaves. Okay, write down. Microsporophylls. Stamens are microsporophylls. See, fills, leaves, sporophylls, because they are modified leaves that bear sporangia, microsporangia. That's why the name microsporophylls. And therefore, these pistils are carpel, right? Also called what? Megasporophyll. Megasporophil. See, always remember this order, which refers to this spores, sporangia, and also, first of all, spores are produced inside the chambers. What do you call those chambers inside which the spores are produced? Hmm. Sporangium. Plural is sporangia. Sporangia are present in the modified leaves called sporophylls. So if it is microspores, microsporangia, microsporophyll. If it is mega, this is what the order, right? So spores are produced inside the chambers called sporangium. Sporangia are present in the are associated with the sporophylls, modified leaves. That's what I've shown there. Right now, coming to pistil or carpel, it consists of three different parts: ovary, style, and stigma. Right. Inside the ovary only there is ovule or ovules. It depends. Some ovaries may possess only one ovule, some may possess multiple. So there are ovules inside this. What is the technical term for the ovule is? No. Embryo sac is female gametophyte. It is megasporangium. Carpel is megasporophyll, inside which each ovule is megasporangium. Inside this megasporangium only megaspores are produced. Those megaspores will form embryo sac later. Right. Next. Uh, each gynoecium can be monocarpellary if there is single carpel, or it can be multicarpellary. It can be multicarpellary. Just a second. This example should be not here. Right. It can be monocarpellary or multicarpellary. In monocarpellary again, the carpels can be free or they are fused. Right. Examples for this Epocarpus and Syncarpus are this: Michelia, Lotus, Rose are the examples for Epocarpus. For Syncarpus, pepper, mustard, tomato, and also hibiscus. Right. Next one, presentation. Right. First of all, what you need to understand again in this is the inside the ovary. See, this is the ovary vallis. Here, ovule is attached at a particular point. I'm just showing only one ovule. It can be multiple ovules also. Inside the ovary wall, this is the ovary vallis. To that ovary wall, ovule is attached. This is ovulus. This stalk is what we call. What is the name of the stalk? Funicle. The name of the stalk is funicle. Now see exactly I'm talking about this particular point. Which one? See this. This point, the one which I have highlighted in the red. So this is the point where ovule is attached to the ovary wall. This is one cushion-like structure. So if you see the ovary wall, on the ovary wall, this is like one cushion-like structure where this ovule is attached. This cushion-like structure is what we call placenta. right? Which means wherever the placenta is there, or how the arrangement of placenta will be inside the ovule, that is what the arrangement of ovules, right? Is it clear? So when we say placentation, basically we are talking about what? Arrangement of ovules only. Arrangement of ovules, where inside the ovary. That arrangement is what we call placentation. Why do we use the term placentation? Means because it is the placenta where this ovule is attached. So placenta is basically one cushion-like structure on which the ovule is attached. Right. Coming to the types, one is marginal, which you can see in P or bean. If you see, you can observe this thing. If you observe properly and try to open this bean, you will actually find this is fruit. What you see is fruit. Before fertilization, it is ovary only, no? These are seeds. Before fertilization, they are ovules only. So if you see the arrangement of these seeds, you can just observe this thing. One seed is here, right? And here there is a gap. In that place, this one. So it's like when you see these together, this is this, right? And after that, this one is this. In between, what is there? So I'm just giving the color. This one, that is this. Which means these ovules are arranged in two rows. This is one row, this is the other row is. But when you see all together, it looks like single only. But they are arranged in two rows. But where are they arranged? If this is the ovaries, this is the suture. And this is one suture, this is also suture. A suture is a place where you can open the ovary. When you try to open the bean or pea, this is where it will open. That is a suture is. Right. This is the ventral suture. So on the ventral suture, this placenta is present marginally. See, this is the placenta, right? All this is the placenta is. So placenta is forming a margin on the ventral suture to which the ovules are attached. Therefore, this is called marginal presentation, which is the characteristic feature of Fabaceae. Right. Next one, basal placentation. Here, very simple. At the base of the ovary, this one is the ovary vallis. This is where the ovule is. Now, this is what the base is. At the base of the ovary, ovule is attached. One single ovule is attached. Therefore, it is basal placentation. Marigold, sunflower, both belongs to Asteraceae. Asteraceae family. There you can see this. Next one, parietal placentation. Again, in the inner wall of the ovary, or this is what we call the parietal part. Parietal part. Ovules are attached on the parietal part of the ovary wall. Parietal placentation, brassica. This is brassicaceae. In brassica, you can see this thing. Next one, axil. See, exactly. This is the axil of the ovaries. It's like a wheel's axle will be there, right? So the same way, this is like a wheel. This is the axle of the ovaries. To the axle of this ovary, ovules are attached. This is where the placenta are present on the axle, and also it is having the septa. There are various septa inside this. Right. So each chamber is what we call locule, and therefore it is multilocular. Multilocular ovary. Here there are three locules. One, two, three. Like this, it is multilocular. If you see lemon, you can see clearly this one. A cross section of the lemon, if you see clearly, you can see this. Right. Apart from that, tomato also is having this. Right. And China rose. These are the examples of. Tomato is the example for Solanaceae. So in Solanaceae family, actually, we are going to see this thing. Only tomato, not the other two. So this is little different from this. Here, this is called free central placentation. How these two are different? In the case of axial placentation, it is multilocular ovary, but this is not multilocular. This free central is not multilocular. Septa are absent. Septa absent. Okay, so this is central axis. To which ovules are attached, but no septa. Free central placentation. This you can see in dianthus and primrose. Right. Open NCERT and go to the description once, placentation quickly. Right. Yes, now quickly tell this thing. What do you call this estivation? Axillary. This one? Hmm. Imbricate. Okay, this we haven't discussed, right? This is 1 plus 1 plus 3. This is actually called quincuntial. This I haven't discussed as we don't have. This one, valvate distillation. Next, what is meant by diadelphous? Means it refers to what? Diadelphous refers to what? Where? In two bundles of what? Stamens, right? This is about actually we call it cohesion. Cohesion of stamens. So stamens attached among themselves, right? This is cohesion of stamens. Syncarpus refers to refers to what? Just now we have discussed, right? Check your notes. What is syncarpus? Fused carpels for people. Trimerous refers to again and again. You don't have to prove right what you are. Hmm? Come prepared. Don't come for time pass. Particularly this Asif and Tarun. Right. Next one. Fruits. So far, whatever we have discussed is about reproductive morphology. From here, we will see the post-reproductive morphology. So just write fruits. Right. So if you just check this thing, can you tell me which are fruits in this, which are false fruits in this, which are not fruits at all? Okay. Hmm. What about this first one? Okay, false fruit. Hmm. What about brinjal? What about brinjal? Is it fruit or not? Mic is disconnected, it seems. Yeah. Is it a fruit or not? Why it takes this much time? Okay. Now this one is a fruit. This one is a fruit. This one is a fruit. Right. In this, this is the fruit. This is not the fruit. Right. And this is not the fruit. If you identify this. So basically, fruit means what? After fertilization, what is the structure developed from the ovary is what the fruit is. So brinjal is a true fruit. Technically, botanically speaking, tomato is a fruit. Apple is actually a false fruit because here, whatever this fleshy structure is there, this one develops from thalamus. Same thing with the strawberry also, the fleshy part is developed from the thalamus. Right. Coconut is a fruit, true fruit. And in the cashew nut, this nut is actually a fruit, not this fleshy part. This is actually again developed from thalamus only. Okay, this one is actually mulberry. If you know, here the tepals will develop into fleshy structures. Tepals, not the thalamus or something, tepals. So this is also false fruit. So true fruit means basically the structure which is developed from the ovary. So brinjal, tomato actually qualify the definition, not the apple. Right. This is what the fruit is. Ovary develops into fruit after fertilization. So the structure develops from the ovary is what the fruit is. False fruits, also called pseudocarps. Just write the examples. Mulberry, scientific name not required. You can copy only the common names. Mulberry, pineapple, apple, strawberry, pear. These are all the examples for false fruits. So here in all these cases, it is not the ovary. Some other structures are developing into fleshy fruits. That can be tepals, bracts, or it can be thalamus. Right. Now here the detailed classification of fruits is not important, but at least you have to be clear with the initial level. Basically, fruits develop from flower. Flower consists of either monocarpellary condition or multicarpellary condition. In multicarpellary condition, again we have syncarpous condition and apocarpous condition. So I'll just give you the initial terms. So these are all the different possibilities. Sorry, if I consider only one flower, right? If fruit develop from either monocarpellary flower or multicarpellary syncarpous flower, we call this fruit as simple fruit. If the fruit develop from apocarpus, multicarpellary apocarpus condition, we call this one aggregate fruit. I'll just give you simple examples. When you take mango cross section, if you see or anything you see, it will be having only one chamber with one seed. Right. That is actually from the monocarpellary condition. But if you see, for example, citrus or maybe tomato, a tomato cross section, if you see, you can see various chambers inside that. Like this, you can see chambers. Now, why? Because this is actually developed from multicarpellary syncarpous condition. But when you see from outside, it looks like only one single fruit developed from single ovary, but it's not the one. So it is actually developing from multiple ovaries. But all these are fused, that's why it looks like one fruit. So both are called what? Simple fruits. But when the apocarpus condition is seen, after ripening, each ovary can be differentiated. For example, custard apple. In custard apple, you can see small units like this. Each one is actually one fruitlet is. Right, each fruitlet actually developed from one ovary. Understood. The same thing you can't see in the tomato because it is syncarpous condition. Because it is apocarpous condition here, you can see the difference. Such kind of fruits are what we call aggregate fruits. And finally, if the complete inflorescence, not the flower, if the inflorescence develops into fruit, then that fruit is what we call multiple fruits or composite fruit. So if it is single flower, in the single flower again, monocarpellary syncarpous is simple fruit, apocarpous condition aggregate fruit. If whole inflorescence develops into fruit, then we call it multiple fruit or composite fruit. At least you have to learn up to this level. Right. So this is a classification of fruits. You just write this thing. In this, there are some important fruit types are there that we'll write separately. Okay. Next, what do you call fruit wall technically? Pericarp. Right. Again, pericarp consists of three different layers. What is the outermost one? Epicarp, mesocarp, and endocarp. These are the three layers of pericarp. Right. Next, in this, write the first one, uh, drupe. This is the only fruit which is discussed in the textbook. So just write that drupe, D-R-U-P, D-R-U-P. Under that, write the first one. It is a fleshy fruit, simple fleshy fruit, simple fleshy fruit. A fleshy fruit because it's not dry. Dry and fleshy, these are the two different types. So it is fleshy fruit, simple fruit. Right? The characteristic feature of this thing is stony endocarp. It has stony endocarp. Actually, this is from, see this, mango, for example. As you know, after ripening, epicarp is the one which will become leathery in the mango. The leathery one is epicarpus. The fleshy one, juicy one is mesocarpus, where in mango. Endocarp is actually stony. Inside that there will be seed. A seed you can't see because it is present inside the stony endocarp. The same thing with the coconut also. In coconut, before ripening, after ripening, difficult to see. Before ripening, the green colored thin sheath is what we call epicarp, the green colored one. That fibrous one is mesocarpus, and then comes the stony one is there, no, that is endocarpus. So in both mango and coconut, common thing is this stony endocarp. That's why it is drupe. Both are the examples for drupaceous fruits. Next, uh, just the important type, legume. Legume. Right? Simple, dry, dehiscent fruit. Simple, dry, dehiscent fruit. So in genetics, you'll come across this term legume. Legume means actually what? Fruit. Pod is what we call. The term pod is what we are going to use. It's basically fruit. Next important one, caryopsis. Caryopsis. Simple, dry, indehiscent. It will not undergo dehiscence. Simple, dry, indehiscent. Right, and also write the description for this. It is single seeded fruit, single seed fruit, where fruit wall and seed coat are fused. Now, both are thin basically. Thin fruit wall and seed coat are fused. You can't differentiate seed from fruit. For example, maize, wheat, rice, all these are actually fruits. One maize grain is one fruit. So if you see maize grain, which one is fruit wall, which one is seed coat, you cannot tell because both are thin and fused with each other. Such kind of fruit is what we call caryopsis. That's it. These are the important fruits which you have to learn. Other than that, we'll come across the terms like berry in Solanaceae family and all. Names are enough. Next, write separately parthenocarpic fruit. Parthenocarpic fruit. What does it mean? Hmm. Fruit formed without fertilization. Will they have the seeds? Hmm. They are seedless and formed without fertilization. So will they help in reproduction of the plant? Kanishka, I can't hear. Speak louder. Will they be able to help in reproduction of the plant? Parthenocarpic fruits. No, if no seed, no embryo, right? So they won't help in reproduction. Now this Asif and Tarun, are you at least copying the notes properly? Asif. Okay. Okay. At least copy the notes properly, man. I don't think that you are listening or not. At least if you have notes, you'll revise later, no? Sometimes application-based questions may come on this, like, can you give me one example where parthenocarpic fruits will not have the economic importance? Normally, parthenocarpic fruits have lot of economic importance, like oranges, maybe tomatoes. We look for seedless fruits. Give me an example where parthenocarpic fruit is economically not important. Just thinking ability. I don't know why it has never developed. Don't you know fruits? So think about the case where if you produce parthenocarpic fruit, it will become economically useless. Sorry? Arre, arre. How can you explain, Kanishka? First of all, do you know that banana is actually parthenocarpic fruit only? Then see, it's not about the question and answer. My worry is like you are not even able to think. You can give any example where seed is what you eat. That can be pomegranate. What will you eat in pomegranate? Seeds. That can be pea. The main thing that we eat in pea is seeds. What if you produce seedless fruits in that? They'll become economically not important. Okay, great people. Right, the next one, seeds. Just write this statement. They develop from ovule and possess one embryo usually. Why? Because one ovule will always possess, or most of the cases will possess, one embryo sac. One embryo sac means only one egg. Therefore, inside each seed, there will be one embryo. Right. If more than one embryo, then we call it polyembryon. If one seed possesses more than one embryo, we call it polyembryonic. Right. So when you just see one concept related to nutrition provided to different stages of plant development, and just try to think, use your brain. Who will provide nutrition to embryo sac? Are you sure, Kanishka? Kanishka, do you know the difference between embryo sac and embryo? No, don't know. Anyone knows the difference between embryo sac and embryo? Are they same? And what is the difference? Hmm. This is female gametophyte. Embryo is something that develops out of fertilization from the egg, from zygote. How you are comparing, see, taking both as is same. For embryo, it is endosperm. For embryo sac, who will provide the nutrition? Okay, what do you call the tissue that fills the ovule? Ovule, if you see, what do you call the tissue that fills the ovule? What do you call the tissue that fills the ovule? Hmm? What? Open plant kingdom? What does it mean? What does it mean? What is this? You don't even know the meaning of this after writing the test from plant kingdom? Like, ma, don't be this much casual, ma. Right? I don't know what it is. So the ovule is filled with the tissue called nucellus. Right. This nucellus, from this nucellus only megaspore mother cell will develop. Megaspore mother cell is differentiated from one of the cells of nucellus. I'm feeling jealous about you, you know. Because I don't understand how one can be like without any feelings. You don't feel bad, so casual. Okay, so it is the nucellus who actually provides nutrition to embryo sac. At least learn of a nucellus is the tissue that provides nutrition to embryo sac, female gametophyte. So in most of the cases, nucellus will be completely utilized by embryo sac during its development. Therefore, after fertilization, once the seed is formed, usually no nucellus. Usually nucellus will not be there inside the seed. Why? Because it is completely utilized by the embryo sac. Right? But if persistent, if the nucellus is persistent, there is a name for this. Can you try at least this? What do you call the persistent nucellus? It is given in the 12th NCRT in the sexual reproduction flowering plants. Now, if you have passed 12th class, you should answer this question. Perisperm. Right. So usually nucellus will not be there because it is utilized. If persistent, we call it perisperm. So perisperm means it is nucellus only. This is about the story of nucellus that provides nutrition to embryo sac. Next, embryo will get the nutrition from endosperm, but sometimes nutrients from the endosperm, whatever the nutrients present inside the endosperm, they will be migrated to cotyledons. Right. Therefore, cotyledons will become fleshy and they will provide nutrition to embryo. So either endosperm directly or through cotyledons, it will provide nutrition to embryo. Now listen, don't pretend as you are writing something. Understand the concept first. Right. So if you take the seed, either endosperm will be present. If endosperm is present, it is directly providing nutrition to embryo. But when you take non-endospermic seeds, why there is no endosperm means it does not mean that endosperm is not produced in that plant. In every angiospermic plant, endosperm is produced. Triple fusion will be there, endosperm is produced. But in the non-endospermic seeds, these nutrients are migrated to cotyledons. Cotyledons will be providing nutrition to embryo. That's the differences. Right. So in the classification of seeds, when we say endospermic seeds, endosperm is directly providing nutrition. If it is non-endospermic, by default we need to understand that cotyledons are fleshy, fleshy cotyledons. In the endospermic seeds, there will be membranous cotyledons. Right. Now, I don't know how many of you are really understanding, how many of you are pretending. Please copy it. These are differences. So this is about the nutrition in different stages. and then write this classification. Right. Apart from this, here itself write perispermic seeds. That is, if perisperm is present. Anyone remember the examples for the perispermic seeds from 12th? Of course, no. Beet, pepper. These are the examples for perispermic seeds. This you will see in the 12th NCERT. Right. Apart from this, about the structure, only one figure which you have to see is this. This is actually the seed as well as the fruit. This is caryopsis fruit. What you see is. So you can see fruit wall and seed coat, both are fused. You can't differentiate them. Right. And this is the endosperm. The endosperm which you see, all this is the endosperm. This is starchy. Right. Whereas surrounding this endosperm, there is one proteinaceous layer, which is aileron layer. Apart from this, remaining structures, scutellum, coleoptile, plumule, radicle, and coleorhiza. Okay, just practice this figure. Okay, so we'll stop here, but by the time you come tomorrow, you have to practice all these terms. So tomorrow it is just about families. Every term that we have come across here will be repeated. If you can't come prepared, no, better don't attend the class. That's what I can say. Otherwise, you can't understand anything. Get fever. That's what you can see. Right? Okay, then come prepared after this. Tomorrow we'll see the families. Bye, everyone.